Welcome back to Forced Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about Nile, N-I-L-E, also known as BitNile as the main company name. Now, this company here, as the name suggests, they are a diversified holding company specialized in cryptocurrencies and innovations in the field of decentralized finance. Cryptocurrencies and innovation in the emerging of decentralized DeFis are the two most disruptive technologies today and are expected to reshape Wall Street and the financial world over the next decade. BitNile is uniquely positioned to become a leader in the emerging financial technologies by leveraging its high-density data center built from the ground up to meet the demands of cryptocurrency markets, along with its investments in technology platforms, services, and architecture. Well, architecture, my bad. I'm kind of going through something right now, so very much excuse my voice. Apologize about that. But another one here that the company has as a subsidiary is Earnity. Earnity aims to democratize access to the broadest array of cryptocurrency assets in a secure, educational, and community-oriented platform to global customers. In doing so, Earnity will provide users with the ability to learn, earn, collect, and gift a variety of tokens and portfolio. Now, in their About Us page, they say they specialize in emerging disruptive financial technologies. We already talked about that. And they also talk a little bit about their data center. Crypto technology and financial services here, they have cryptocurrency mining, and the cryptocurrency market is estimated to be $2 trillion. They're trying to tap into that. They have the DeFi platform, which I did talk about, I believe, through Earnity, but they still have DeFi platform just interests in the high density data center, that 30,000 square feet that they're trying to leverage into this. Now, this is a presentation from back where they were Alt Global Holdings back in June, and they kind of talks a little bit about their bit of their structure. And you see they have a lot of subsidiaries, and they talk about 75 years of cumulative experience in private equity, venture capital, and activism. And so why Alt Global? They're a diversified holding company acquiring undervalued assets and disruptive technologies with a global impact. So you kind of see that their main focus has gone from just technology kind of focus to all out cryptocurrency focus. Now that could be relating towards some of the hype and attention that cryptocurrencies have gained in the last few years, I would say, maybe the last couple of years. But basically they have moved almost all their operations and branding towards Bitcoin. So BitNile Holdings, for instance, the subsidiary Turn On Green is to be acquired by BitNile Holdings subsidiary Imperial Holding Corp. So this is just more of a organization structure thing because it's still going under BitNile Holdings umbrella overall. Now they're consolidating a little, so creating a publicly traded EV charging and power solutions company. So that's kind of a bit of the situation that they're going for. They're still going on with green tech and tech in general. So BitNile is to distribute approximately 140 million shares and an equal number of warrants to purchase shares of Turn On Green on BitNile Holding stockholders. Now, it doesn't go ahead and talk exact about details for basically the need of when to buy these shares, but it does talk a little bit in the press release and the full release material, a little bit about the division of it being 140 million shares, and that will be distributed to stockholders with the right to purchase additional shares. Now, previously on the 18th as well, it did talk about a significant milestone in Tim Hortons EV charger installations. So this Tim Hortons, by the way, is a Canadian very famous coffee shop, or more of a, I wouldn't say a restaurant, it's more of a coffee chain, very similar to Dunkin' Donuts, but they still have different varieties of food, including soup, not the best soup, but Timbits or donut balls and coffee and sandwiches and that kind of stuff. But they have quick service restaurant locations in Canada, and they have installed first of 3 Tim Hortons EV stations. Now, this is basically where you go ahead and you stop at a restaurant or a quick stop and you want to charge your EV while let's say, meeting someone or a friend. That is basically what they're going for here. BitNile Holdings updates status of Bitcoin mining operations as well. That was back on March 17th, 2022. They have around 111 million invested to date in new miners and upgrades to the Michigan data center. Now, for this one here, you get to see that they have approximately 2,200, or started that installation and deliveries are on track with approximately 2,200 installed S19J Pro Ant miners and 300 additional S19J Pro Ant miners scheduled to be delivered tomorrow for immediate installation. That was back on March 17th, so we can assume that it's actually installed. Now, additionally, at the end of March 2022, the company expects the receipt of approximately 2,300 S19j Pro Ant miners, which would bring the company's installed and active S19j Pro Ant miners to approximately 4,800 that, once installed, are expected to produce more than 2 Bitcoins per day based on the current market conditions, including a mining level of around 27.55 trillion. So that's still significant, 2 Bitcoins per day. You're basically going to be, at the end of the day, getting in around 100 THs per second. So that is, or terahashes per second, and that is still significant, as you get to see. And they always, of course, have plans to go further. Now, back on March 16th, they also talked about Turn On Green partners with reforestation nonprofit One Tree Planned. And so, again, towards their active approach towards green and activism, that kind of stuff. Now, they also had a new division to provide blockchain and cryptocurrency mining solutions. The new division is dedicated to providing full services blockchain hosting, including mining equipment, power solutions, and infrastructure for digital asset mining. That was back on March 14th. We also have some technical fundamentals, or fundamental evaluation, my bad. And the price over sales over year is around 1.35, so it's not overvalued in that sense. And the price over book is around 0.26, and that's per quarterly. So you get to see fundamentally their valuation is amazing. Now, profitability, you start seeing a bit of issues there, where you see the EBI, TDA, net profits margin being on the negative side, and management effectiveness being negative. So there's still some room to grow there, but their valuations can be considered undervalued. Now, in terms of institutional buyers, you see on the 4th of February, Calvary Fund has actually liquidated their entire position. They had a small amount of shares, around 117,000 shares, although Alt Multon C3 has actually increased their shares by around 14%. Institutions, you get to see some dispositions of shares, and the majority of it being dispositions of shares as a mass exodus of this company. Now, in terms of insiders, you're starting to see additions. People are actually buying, especially Alt Milton, which I basically just mentioned. On the 4th of March was the last edition, and they have been buying a different amount of units of this company. Before moving on towards technical analysis, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notification buttons on for this channel, and don't forget to drop the like button. Now, from a technical analysis, Nile does have a few interesting points. First off, MACD has gone towards a positive reversal starting off on the 22nd of March. And that is starting to see massive bullish action. And that's actually a pretty good thing that we're seeing here. So the stock itself has not rebounded significantly with that MACD bullish action reversal, but it's starting to bounce from the 10 SMA and treating that as a support. Now, the stock price is seeing more of a challenge around the 50 SMA, and that's kind of acting like a resistance at this point, which is at 86 cents. 30 EMA is above 10 SMA, which is somewhat bearish, but it has been for a while, so we're going to a little bit disregard that. The average directional index is around 2064, so it can start actually picking up. The William %R is seeing that the stock is kind of between overbought and oversold in a sense. It's closer towards the overbought, which only shows that demand is higher than supply for this time being. This is very similar to what you would see with the relative strength index or RSI index, or RSI in general. The I stands for index. I said index twice. Anyway, you're able to see the momentum here is somewhere around 0. It's neither positive or negative, so it really can go either ways, and it has momentum for both. Now, stochastic fast and stochastic slow, all the indicators are going upwards, suggesting more of a bullish action for this one and more of a stronger kind of push going forward. Now, for the moving average bands, you're expecting this one to trade between 84 cents and 68 cents. There's a middle kind of support line or resistance, depending on where you're at 76 cents. The Bollinger Bands are between 102 and 50 cents. And we're seeing volumes have really spiked in the last few days, and the unbalanced volume is going crazy. It's going really high. Now, taking a look at the support, that's sitting at 80 cents for the Fibonacci retracements, and then 50 cents. Resistances 98, 113, 128, 149, and 176. Although just normal resistance and support, there's a few of them that are very significant. The first resistance is at 83 cents. Above there, 95 cents. Above there, 103, 110, 116, 125, going higher to 134, and then 142, going higher to 153 and 162. Now, support, you're able to see a support level at 79 cents, 75 cents, going down to around 68 cents, 61, and then it dropped significantly to 53. Now, comes to the question to Ed, what do you think? Well, first, let's take a quick look at analyst ratings. Last 13 days, or 13 days ago, you had an initiation coverage with a buy around $7. Now, that average price target is around 750% from where it is right now. So that's a very significant analyst recommendation if this analyst is actually somewhat reliable. This person's success rate has been 65% with an average return of around 27%. Now, that is still significant returns. I see a lot of people with lower success rates, so that actually could be a very much of a bullish point. Now, this company here has multiple different subsidiaries. They're holding companies and they drop from 176. There's massive volatility, and with all this volatility, it just doesn't make sense that it's stuck at this level. So I think in the short term, it can still easily, if it does break the 103, jump up, and that would be a new support, and it would be trading until probably 139 as the next significant support. So I do think that there is a very strong potential for this one to push upwards, and I really do hope to see that. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.